I never thought 14 years could be erased with one text message. But they can. And they were. My name is Daniel Hayes, 43 now. Structural engineer. Boise, Idaho, born and raised. The kind of man who fixes things. Bridges, houses, people's problems. Quiet, steady. The guy everyone calls when something breaks. Sarah came into my life in 2011. I was 29. She was 30, freshly divorced, raising Chloe, 9 years old, big brown eyes, always carrying a book bigger than her head. Sarah worked reception at a medical clinic. Tired smile, worn hands. But when she laughed, the whole room felt warmer. I didn't plan to become a stepfather. I didn't plan to fall in love with a ready-made family. But I did both. First date, coffee at a little place downtown. Chloe came too. Sarah didn't have a sitter. Chloe asked me if I liked dinosaurs. I told her I once built a model T-Rex skeleton for a science fair when I was 12. She decided I was acceptable. 6 months later, we were living together. A year after that, married at the Idaho Botanical Garden. Small ceremony. Chloe carried the rings in a basket of wildflowers. She whispered, "Don't mess this up," to me before walking down the aisle. I promised IWOULD in single quotes. The house came next. 2013, 3-bedroom Craftsman on Maple Avenue. I put 20% down from years of overtime savings. Mortgage solely in my name. Sarah's credit was still recovering from the divorce mess. "We'll add you when things stabilize," I said. She kissed me, said, "You're our rock." I believed her. The years blurred into routine, the good kind. I thought, Chloe's braces, $6,800. I paid. Her first car, 16. Terrified of highways. Used Corolla, $11,000 to $100 cash. I paid. Appendicitis scare at 15. A bills after insurance, $9,000 for $100. I paid. Community college tuition, 2 years, $18,600 total. I paid. Dance lessons, summer camps, laptop for school, winter coats every year when she outgrew them. Me, always me. Sarah worked part-time. Her money went to clothes, hair, nails, weekend trips with girlfriends to Spokane or Sun Valley. "I need to feel like me again," she'd say. I never argued. I like seeing her happy. Greg, Chloe's biological father, lived in Seattle. Child support was supposed to be $650 a month. It arrived maybe for months out of 12. When it didn't, I covered the gap, quietly, no complaints. That's what family does, right? I worked 60 to 70-hour weeks. Side consulting jobs on weekends. Mortgage $1,920 monthly. Utilities, groceries, insurance, all of it. My 401k grew slowly. I told myself it was for the future. Ours. Sarah started changing in 2023. More phone calls late at night. Just a friend from high school. More weekends away. Girls trip. You understand, right? Less affection. Quick pecks instead of kisses. Sex became rare. I'm tired, Dan. I told myself it was stress. Mid-40s. Empty nest looming. Chloe was finishing her associate's degree. Planning to transfer to Boise State. Then came the cruise idea. June 2025, our 14th anniversary. I surprised them with an Alaska Inside Passage cruise. 7 nights. Glaciers, Juneau, Ketchikan, whale watching. Norwegian Cruise Line. $5,400 deposit from my personal account. Final payment auto-debited in August. They screamed, hugged me. Chloe posted on Instagram, "Stepdad of the century taking us to see glaciers." I saved every screenshot. September 11th, 2025. They packed. Early flight to Seattle next morning, then to the port. I was supposed to drive them to the airport at 6:14 a.m. on September 12th. My phone buzzed. Sarah's message. "Daniel, change of plans. You're not coming on the cruise. Chloe wants her real dad there instead. She needs this time with Greg. Don't make this difficult. We already left for the airport. No call. No conversation. Just 43 words and 14 years gone." I sat on the edge of the bed. The house was empty. Their suitcases gone. Coffee pot still warm from the pot Sarah made before leaving. I read the message again. And again. Something inside me didn't break. It simply switched off. I didn't scream. Didn't throw anything. I made coffee. Black. Strong. Drank it slowly at the kitchen table where we'd eaten thousands of meals. Then I started making calls. First, cruise line customer service. 8:07 a.m. Daniel Hayes. Booking confirmation for 7 to 9/8/11. I'm withdrawing my participation. The other two passengers can continue if they wish, but remove me from the reservation. The agent asked if everything was okay. I said, personal reasons. Refund processed to my card. Full amount minus $225 change fee. Done in 10 minutes. Second call. Rachel Klein. My attorney since 2018 when we had a boundary dispute with the neighbor. Closing parenthesis. She picked up on the second ring. Dan, it's early. Everything all right? I read her the text, word for word. Told her about the house title, the mortgage history, all payments from my separate accounts. Rachel was quiet for a long moment. The house is your separate property, she said. Purchase before marriage. No commingling of funds proven. Mortgage solely in your name. Idaho is not a community property state for separate assets kept separate. You can sell, but do it surgically. No emotion. Document everything. I'll draft a memo for the realtor and title company. I thanked her. By 9:30 a.m. I had a realtor walking through the house. Jenna Cole, 35. Sharp eyes. No bullshit. Market is strong right now, she said. September buyers are serious. Families relocating before school. If you price aggressively, we could have multiple offers in 48 hours. Price it to move. I said, I need fast close. Cash preferred, but conventional is fine. She looked at me. You sure about this? It's a big step. I've never been more sure. I spent the afternoon packing. My clothes. My tools. My books. Grandfather's railroad watch. The one thing I refused to sell during hard times. Important documents. Passport. Birth certificate. 401k statements. Everything else I left. The couch we picked out together. The dining table where Chloe did homework for a decade. Sarah's clothes in the closet. Chloe's childhood drawings taped inside cabinets. All of it stayed. I wrote a single note on the kitchen counter. To the new owners, the house is yours. Everything stays. Enjoy building memories here. Previous owner. At 4:12 p.m. the listing went live. By 7:19 p.m. 3 offers. I accepted the second one. Mia and Ethan Rivera, 28 and 30. First child due in March. They wanted to close fast. VA loan, but approved. Earnest money wired that night. Closing scheduled for September 15th. 3 days away. I called the title company. Explained the urgency. They rushed the paperwork. September 13th. I signed everything digitally from a coffee shop downtown. Notary came to me. September 15th to 47 p.m. Closing complete. Funds wired to my account. Keys transferred via lockbox. COD. I loaded my truck. Drove north on I-80 toward Coeur d'Alene. Found a furnished Lakeview rental. Month-to-month. Moved. In that evening. Sat on the deck watching the sun drop behind the mountains. First time in 14 years the silence didn't feel lonely. It felt earned. The cruise ended September 19th. Sarah and Chloe flew back to Boise. September 20th. 4:38 p.m. Sarah pulled into the driveway on Maple Avenue. Mia answered the door. Hi, can I help you? Sarah, keys in hand, suitcase at her feet. This is my house. Who the hell are you? Ethan stepped forward. We closed 3 days ago. Daniel Hayes was the seller. Everything's legal. Deeds in our name. Sarah laughed, short, disbelieving. Then she saw the sold sign in the yard. She called me. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Voicemail. Texted. Daniel, what the fuck is going on? This is our home. Answer me. I didn't. Police arrived at 5:20 p.m. Officers checked the deed. Closing documents. Everything clean. They told Sarah she was trespassing. She could retrieve personal belongings through the realtor or file in small claims if necessary. They asked her to leave the property. She cried on the front lawn. Chloe stood frozen. Neighbors watched from porches. 1 week later, mediation. At Ada County Courthouse. Sarah arrived with Chloe and, surprise, Greg Harlan. He'd flown in when he heard about the free cruise ticket he'd used. Sarah's demands, half the house. Proceeds. Alimony. Emotional distress damages, abandonment, cruel and inhuman treatment. I brought 3 binders. Mortgage history minus 120 payments. All from my checking account. Receipts. $87,000 in documented support for Chloe tuition, car, medical, extras, child support records, Greg's payments sporadic, mine consistent. The mediator, Judge Eleanor Patel, reviewed everything in silence. After 40 minutes, the residence was purchased pre-marriage with separate funds. No evidence of transmutation to community property. Mortgage and title remained in Mr. Hayes' name alone. Sale is valid. No spousal claim to proceeds. Greg tried to speak. Chloe grew up in that house. It's her childhood home. She deserves. I looked at him. First time I'd spoken directly. She deserved a father who showed up for more than free vacations. I tried to be that man every single day for 14 years. You chose not to. Greg, shut up. Sarah cried. Chloe stared at the floor. After the session, Chloe asked to speak to me alone. We sat on a bench outside the courthouse. September wind cold. I didn't know, she whispered, about how much you paid. Mom always said you owed us, that it was your job. I nodded slowly. I never kept a ledger. I didn't love you both because I had to. I did it because I wanted to. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I'm sorry. I was stupid, selfish. I didn't hug her, didn't tell her it was okay. But I said, you're not stupid. You were young, and you were told a story that wasn't true. She nodded. We sat in silence until she stood up and walked away. Divorce papers filed 2 weeks later. Uncontested. No alimony. No property division. Clean break. Sarah moved to Seattle, closer to Greg. Apparently. Chloe transferred to a university. There. She texts me sometimes. College updates. Photos of snow. I reply. Short. Polite. Kind. I still live in the lake. Rental. Cooking simple meals. Hiking on weekends. Reading books I never had time for before. I bought a small cabin in January. 20-6. Nothing fancy. 2 bedrooms. Wood. Stove. View of the water. Sometimes I sit on the porch and think about that text message, about the moment love turned into ledger, about the cost of one-sided devotion. I don't hate Sarah. I don't hate Chloe. I don't even hate Greg. I just finally chose myself. And for the first time in 14 years, the quiet feels like peace, not the absence of noise, the presence of dignity. And that's worth more than any house.